Hello viewers, welcome to the channel, welcome to another Minecraft video. In today's tutorial, we're going to be building the Pz.Kpfw Panther 2. So this is a bit of a special vehicle slash video, as marking 900 subscribers over almost 2 years of doing this sort of thing, so building tutorial, so thank you all, of course. And a bit of a special vehicle in as much as it's sort of a semi-fictional sort of thing. Long story short, basically the Panther 2 project was a sort of sister project of the Tiger 2 to basically modernize another Panther, and near the end of it, it never really reached production stage, of course, and it hardly made it out of the prototype stage. Really, very few, if any, like totally full mock-ups were built, basically, and there were many different designs floating around from the different companies that were contracted to build it, basically. And over the past decades, since the war, of course, and especially within the past few years, popularized by famous video games like War Thunder, I think World of Tanks even, took their own sort of approach to the Panther 2, as it really never had any single defining official design. So, you know, they've sort of added a little bit here and there, cherry-picked it, if you will, and that's basically what I did as well. And also, basically, not modern, but model builders, like actual ones, real ones you can put together. Those companies have also had their own approach of this tank, especially the Panther 2 with the 88mm gun. Sort of the same story, but yeah, that one's completely fake. It was a sort of misunderstanding of official documents way back when. So sort of a same story here. Not exactly totally real, but it's a pretty cool looking tank, and you can, I think, easily convert it back into a Panther F, as that's kind of what it's based on. But anyway, looked around it a few times. I have a camo for it. Never really done a camo before, but I thought, what the heck, it's a bit of a special vehicle, so let's try it out. So first, starting with the ground layer, we're going to take our nether bricks and build a row, or trench rather, of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Fill it back up, and then do that, leaving a space of 3. Yep. And with that, we got the foundation down, and we can start with layer 1. To begin layer 1, and just to note, we're going to be, I'm going to be building without the camouflage onto it, as it's pretty asymmetrical, so I'm just going to be building it for the tutorial in basic desert tan color. And I think I've looked around the vehicle enough in the intro, so you can get a good idea of what to do for the camo, what colors change here and there. So, with that out of the way, we can start by placing a placer block, and of course one up birch trapdoor, and behind that a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 up smooth sandstone slabs, and then a birch fence gate behind that. We're also going to take a skeleton skull and place it just like that. Next, we're going to do that same thing, basically, to each side. Rows of 8, if I'm not mistaken, with a birch fence gate, and then a trapdoor. So, for the tracks and running gear, we're going to take a upside down net brick stair, place it just like that. And then we're going to take our walls. We're also going to need stone and stone buttons for now. So, starting out with our walls, place down one wall, and then we're going to alternate it with black block, whatever you want, of your choice. So, I'm going to carry it all the way down. And then at the end, there should be another upside down nether brick stair. So, should have something that looks exactly like that. Pretty simple. Now we're going to put some stone buttons on the blocks we placed, and put some normal item frames with a, I believe this would be light gray stained glass pane. And then on each of the walls, we're going to place down an invisible item frame, and then a stone block. And also just to note, invisible end frames are a vanilla command. Don't exactly know which versions they apply to, but they kind of work for me. I'll put the command in the description. Again, it's a Java only kind of thing. So with that basically done, that'll finish up layer 1. We can move to layer 2. To start with the second layer, I'm going to place down 1 smooth sandstone stair, and then behind that a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 blocks, and then upside down smooth sandstone stair right behind that. And same thing to each side. But some more detail here. I'm going to place down another stair, invisible item frame, and a tripwire hook. You can kind of get it facing outwards, like so. Place down another row of 8 blocks here. I'm going to place down another stair, but here we're going to have it facing north. Put a lever on the back, and then flip it back to facing south. So once you have that done, it's all good. We can move on to the tracks, basically, or the fenders rather. So for this, we're just going to leave. It's just going to be a straight row of slabs. Don't see any reason why it wouldn't be, but first we're going to place down a lectern right here, a dark oak sign, and on the inside of this stair here, we're going to place down a normal item frame, just to cover up that hole right there. And on the other side, we're just, okay, now we can move on with the slab, so just place down a row of stone up slabs all the way back. Then we're going to take our birch trapdoors and place them on all the slabs. Once you have that done, that'll finish up layer 2, and we can move on to layer 3. To begin with the third layer, we're going to take our sandstone custom heads here, place down 1 on the first block I placed from the second layer, and then from that we're going to take just a skull if you want, and it's going to be for the hull mounted optics, I guess. I think these are the infrared devices here, and if you're building the camo you can use kind of any color head you want for some contrast, but I kind of see them the same tone as the rest of the camouflage. Thinking, or looking back on it rather, don't really like that, so may just switch them out for skulls. But either way, we're going to take a barrier here, place down 1 in front of the skull in the middle, and we're going to have a normal item frame, and then a blue concrete block, like so. Moving on back, behind this head right there, we're just going to place down a smooth sandstone slab, and then a smooth sandstone stair. Going to then build out a row of 1, 2, 3, and 4 blocks, and then we're going to take some smooth sandstone slabs and place down 2 more. We're then going to place our block right here, right at the back, and then place both the skeleton skulls to the side. This will be the exhaust. So starting out back from the front here, we're going to place down a smooth sandstone slab instead of the head right there for the machine gun port. Then same thing, we're going to place down another slab, and behind that a sandstone stair. Okay. Then moving on back, same thing really again. Another row of 4 blocks, and behind that 2 birch slabs. And for the outer sides here, we're going to take our head here and place it at a slight angle. There we go, okay. Then we're going to place down 2 more. Then we're going to take our barriers, place down 2 off the heads, and these are of course vanilla blocks. Invisible item frames, and then we can add some tools. So I'm just going to use a stone shovel and a stone axe. So once you have that done, we can move on back again. I'm going to take our panes and then glass panes and then 2 sandstone walls, like so. Then going to place down a final row of 3 heads. Whoops, 1, 2, and 3. And right on the last 2, I'm going to place down 2 barriers and invisible item frames with some powered rails. Now for future builds, I'm probably going to be using this sort of powered rail item frame thing most of the time for when it comes to like add-on tracks, stuff like that, which is what this is, so keep that in mind for sort of future builds that'll have that technique instead. And with that, should finish up the 3rd layer, and to this point, simple enough, we can just keep going. So we're then going to take our walls, some sandstone blocks, and we'll just pick the blocks as we need them. So first, I'm going to place down 1 sandstone block right on top of this first block we placed, that's behind the stair. And then behind that, we're going to place down, the lag on the head. Okay, should be placed off of the stair. For the, don't say you remember, Shalostherm turret, something like that. I think it means narrow. And some of the pictures I see, like the actual matelet itself, is like a discolorized compared to the rest of the tank, so it's not too bad, kind of like it. And it gets the shape pretty well. So in front of the dragon head, we'll place down a dark oak slab, and then some daylight sensor right there, and then 3 let's see here, dark oak trapdoors. Yep, okay. So that all looks good. We're then going to take our sandstone walls, place them to each side of the block. And then going to take more blocks and build 2 rows of 3. Coming up like that. And then to the side, we're going to place down 2 light gray stained glass panes. Once we get the item frames in here, we can start debugging these things so they are more accurate and representing the shape. So then we're going to place down, as I said, item frames, and then some sandstone blocks on each side. So taking our debug stick, which is of course vanilla, let's start here. So north, we're going to want these facing the block. We're going to need them facing forward as well, and looks up to be true. Okay, so now we just need south rather. And there we have it. We're also going to let's follow up out here and take a black slab, have an invisible item frame right in front of that block right there, and we're going to place down a dark colored slab, and then we're going to place down a flower pot kind of in front or diagonally above the wall there for some roof optic things. Then we're also going to take an invisible end frame, another dragon head, like so. And then we're going to take a placer block placed on top of the actual dragon head we placed earlier, and then place a head right off the back, so we have a another sort of lamp here with a sort of holder thing as well. So it's pretty nice. Actually, we want to use skeleton skulls again just for this one to have some contrast between the body of the tank and the optics. Of course, pretty important there. And also, looks like this guy got messed up, so back at it again. Okay, now we can move on to these guys as well. This should be a south tall true. Or south, yeah, south tall. And then up false. There we go. So, looks a little smoother. Moving on towards the back, we're going to take some more light gray stained paints. Push down row 3. And then we're also going to take some iron bars. Place a 3 on top of each other. And same thing right here, but we're going to place it on that head right there. It's still row 3, so it should be a little shorter. And finally, don't know why that's there, but it is to the roof. So we're going to need a smooth sandstone slab. Place it right there on the right side. And then a fence, birch fence right in front of that. And we're going to do some things. So we're going to need a barrier right there, and take some of these items. To place down item frames at the front. Oh, sorry, on the off the barrier that we just placed, and then to each side. So on this side, we're going to place down a crossbow, so that are facing diagonally towards that direction. Then we're going to put a shovel in here, so kind of facing upside down. And then we're going to have a stick, sort of facing the same way as the crossbow earlier. So once you have that done, we can continue on with the roof. So here we're going to place down a lever, flip it towards the fence, and going to take a skull right here and place it right behind the lever, so we have the complete commanded cupola. I believe there was like a button right there, so we're going to do that real quick. So place down a birch button right there. And lastly, for the cupola, before we move on to the main spotlight thing, I'm going to take some black beds and keep our usable item frames. So I'm going to place down on the outer side, front and back. Just like this. Gotta hit it just right. Come on. There we go, okay. Then another one, so don't have the pillows facing towards each other, so it should be sort of alternating. Just like so. Then finally, I'm going to take a birch fence gate. We're going to keep our head there. Pane. I'm going to take a stick, and I should do it just for now. Rather let's pick up a block as well. So lastly, we're going to place a birch fence gate on top of the fence. That's not my debug stick, that's my debug stick. I'm going to have in wall to true. Then we're going to place down a normal item frame right in front with a blue stained glass paint. I believe for placing this guy, it's going to be Looks like it's just placed right off the side. Like so, and then of course it should actually be a skull if you want. So with that placed, we can then put an invisible end frame on the inner side here. With a stick facing vertically, like so. And then right at the back, another item frame here, and then a smooth sandstone block like so. And that, I believe, should finish up our Panther 2. And one last look around the camouflage version, if that's what you want to do. So with that all done, hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and see you next time.